Why is the ocean basically unexplored? This is a question that I've wondered for a long time in my life, ever since I've been a little kid. The ocean is so vast, yet we know so little about it. So I want to dive into why we don't know as much as we do, and if we even physically possibly can understand more about the ocean, or if it's just out of the depths of our understanding. Now, the ocean makes up 70% of Earth, but yet less than 5% of the ocean is explored. There's an estimated two-thirds of oceanic life out there that we know nothing about or haven't even discovered. But for some reason, we still put more of an emphasis on space exploration, rather than exploring in our own home or our backyard, the ocean. As an example, this would be like if I purchased a house and decided just to live in the living room. I was too afraid to explore the rest of my house because it was just scary. But my neighbor has a house and I decided to go and explore their house in all of my spare time. It just doesn't make sense. So I wanted to look in why we chose space exploration over oceanic exploration. There are a lot of reasons why people want to explore space instead of Earth. One of the big reasons is a fear that we've exhausted Earth. Now, global warming is one of the main reasons for this fear. Now, the Earth is surrounded by a cover of gases as the atmosphere. Now, that atmosphere allows for light from the sun to pass through and hit the ground, the Earth's surface, which then converts that into heat energy, which then heats Earth. Now, during nighttime, that heat energy is released out again. But harmful greenhouse gases cause them to stay within. They do not allow them to escape. Carbon dioxide, being one of the biggest greenhouse gases, accounts for 87% of global warming, has increased by 27% since the Industrial Revolution. Now, this is a lot of the reasons why people fear, because this has a negative effect. It can deplete our ozone. Sea levels can rise. It has a strong negative adverse effect on biodiversity. Now, another thing that people look for in space exploration too is they think it's going to be really cool. Now, pop culture has shaped this interest. Big budget blockbuster movies such as E.T., Aliens, Star Trek, Star Wars, Avatar. All these movies show these outlandish, amazing, beautiful places that we haven't yet discovered, which is why people want to discover them. Whereas oceanic movies, we have Jaws and SpongeBob SquarePants. No complaints, both great movies, but we just don't have what the other people have. And then there's the budget problem. NASA's budget was $3.8 billion versus NOAA's budget of $23.7 million in 2013. Now, that accounts for 0.6% of NASA's budget, which is crazy. That would be like if I had a salary of $100,000 for that house where I only live in the living room, and I spent $600 on my house and then the other $99,400 on my neighbor's house. Why am I doing that? I don't know. Maybe because I feel like being friendly, or they have some really good blackmail on me. You just never know. It just doesn't make any sense, and that's what I'm trying to point out. Why should we focus on the ocean instead of space? One of the big reasons I think we should focus on the Earth is because our ocean consists of 70% of the oxygen on Earth. It comes from marine plants in the ocean. It comes from phytoplankton, kelp, plankton. It's produced as a byproduct of photosynthesis, a process which converts carbon dioxide and sunlight into sugars that organisms use for energy. Now, that can help us understand more on how to conserve our Earth instead of worrying about global warming and having to go to other worlds. Now, the other thing too is our world already has these aliens that are in these movies in it. They just live in the ocean. We have such bizarre life, and we got to know what else is out there. And I'm going to go through the 5 zones in the ocean to really prove why it is so vast and amazing. First, we have the epipelagic zone, which is the surface layer. It's about 200 meters deep. It's also the sunlight zone where most visible light and heat temperatures vary. Large diversities of marine life live here. Then you have the mesopelagic zone, or the twilight zone. It's about 200 to 1,000 meters deep. This is where you start to see the bizarre and interesting looking marine life, such as bioluminescent life. Then you have the bathypelagic zone, which is the midnight zone, 1,000 meters to 4,000 meters. Light from the sun cannot penetrate this deep into the ocean. The only visible light comes from the marine life itself. The abyssopelagic zone, 4,000 to 6,000 meters, 3/4 of the ocean floor lies in this zone. The water's near freezing. It's completely pitch black. Sea life that lives here are typically invertebrates because of the crushing pressure. It's about 11,000 psi in this zone. On the surface of Earth, you are always under 14.5 pressures per square inch. That's almost 759 times the psi you experience on Earth's surface at this zone. Divers need special suits just to dive deeper than 100 feet, which is only 4 atmospheric pressures. Then you have the hadopelagic zone, 6,000 meters and below. This is the deepest parts of the ocean. The deepest point is the Mariana Trench, located off the coast of Japan. It is 10,911 meters deep. The pressure is 8 tons per square inch. That's the equivalent of the weight of 48 Boeing 747 jets. Yet there's still life down there. That's amazing. You have animals such as the anglerfish, which lures animals in with a light that's on its head and eats these things. This is like stuff you find out in movies. It's amazing, and that's why I believe that we should put more of an effort into exploring our oceans instead of space.